The stitches were not available, but I took a screenshot because this is very important to discuss. So basically, this woman's by herself in this office. It was a very, very cold day outside, she was explaining. And this is a guy that she's seen in the community before, so, it's whatever. He comes in, she's like, oh, having a little small talk. She was explaining, oh, it's cold, it's okay to come in and warm up, whatever. So then as you see his behavior, like he's pacing around, he goes to the back and she explains, oh, you can't go back there. So then he comes into her personal space and he's talking about wanting to see her feet. And she's like, oh, like toes, he wants to see her toes. And she was uncomfortable, obviously, but she remained neutral and she kept, like, explaining, like, no, I'm not showing my feet are ugly, like joking around. But he's not picking up those social cues. And at this point, by the way he's talking, and like, you can kind of tell he has a disability. And as a professional that's been in the field for a while, that has worked with children and also adults, I picked that up early on. And I'm sharing this because one of the skills that we work on are social skills. And actually, I just explained a video about self-awareness. And when you work on skills like self-awareness, not only do you work on the self-awareness within you, but you also are able to understand the self-awareness of others, and also like boundaries and respect. This gentleman, he didn't understand the boundaries, that he was crossing the line, especially talking about wanting to see her feet. And like, he kept coming back and wanting to see her feet. And that is a very uncomfortable position to be in, especially as a woman. And this is why it's important to speak about. A colleague that works in a group homes with adults, and she said, yes, like, this is like, she actually has a client that invades personal space. But she also shared that when she was down in Florida, the Florida police actually had an autism program where they actually had a booklet of everyone that was in the community that was on the autism spectrum, so that they were aware, and they could be more proactive. And I'm sharing this because, you know, as service providers that are supporting these learners, they're entitled to go out to the community. Absolutely. Especially if those that do not have the support or the services, they are a part of a community, as are you. But also, as a woman being alone and you're having this stranger come in, and who you can see and understand, like, they're not all there, and they're coming and violating your personal space and wanting to see your feet, personal, like, you see what I mean? How being friendly could turn bad. How she was reacting was imperfect, like perfect. Like, she was remaining neutral, she wasn't overreacting, because when you overreact, it could actually escalate things. So she was being neutral, she like joking around, but there was a point where she was like, no, like, she had to be stern and direct, and it helped transition him out of the office. Because there was a point where he was leaving, and then he came back and he's like, yeah, like, want to see your feet. It's like, no, you're not, like, no, you know what I mean? So then he eventually left. But this is a very scary point, a position to be in as a woman alone, knowing that this man is trying to violate your personal space and violating, coming behind a space that you're supposed to feel safe. And also, as a person that has an intellectual disability, I'm just assuming right now, but we understand that he's not all there. um Not understanding those social skills, that he's also a part of a community that he has to respect. Trying to say is that teaching these skills early on is going to be crucial for them, especially as these children grow up to be adults that are living in a society, okay, that we know that is not welcoming for them. But if we can give them the skills and tools to be able to understand and respect boundaries and like these social norms, like, hey, yes, we understand that they're in a world that's not suited for them, but also they have to live in a world where we have to respect the and boundaries and stuff like this. Instances like this is a perfect example as to why we have to teach these skills. So if you have an adult learner, or maybe check your local police station to see if they actually have an autism program, so you could get them on the list, so that the community could become aware of, like, okay, yes, he's part of our society and he does have a disability, or he is autistic. But also, as women and other people in general population, just remain neutral and remain stern, and just redirect, like, no, thank you, and just try to redirect, so that the attention is not all on you, and you're trying to redirect from a whole different trying to get them away from your uncomfortableness.